Hey guys, sorry, I had my times all messed up, and JC even told me I had my times messed up, and I thought I fixed it, but I didn't fix it. Um, that's life. It can be a bit confusing at times. Just Marie was here. She's not here anymore. She's fast asleep, I'm sure. Savannah, Savvy Rose, 45. Um, she's confused too because I made her confused. I apologize. Someone says hi to Marie, and hi to Savvy Rose. Someone says we're going to bed. Lying down. Good night. Sweet dreams, my lovelies. I apologize, guys. What a mess. Entirely my fault. Entirely my fault, and yet at the same time, I'm completely blameless. Do you know why? Well, let's talk about why. Blameless because in the present moment, there's no blame. How can anything that has occurred be blamed for what is occurring right now? Does that make sense? In that way, we are free of the karmic reactions. We become karmically responsive, simply responding to what's present in the present moment, thus reducing overall karma instead of being reactive to present karma, which is leading to more chaotic karma in the perceived future. Sounds confusing. Probably is, according to my explanation. But if we just relax in the moment, there is no confusion. Hey, Holgo, how are you, my friend? It's been a bit. It's nice to see you, though. How's everything going? How are the animals? How's the wife? I'm going to read Lesson 200 from A Course in Miracles. Holgo says, good, and you? I'm doing pretty good. Hey, Frenchie. Frenchie says 2 or 3 a.m. Wow, early for you. Just happened to wake up. I was awake at about 2:30 on the dot this morning. Holger says everything's fine and good. Thanks for asking. I'm glad to hear that. You know, it occurs to me right now, Holgo, that it's been probably just about a year that you've been coming hanging out in the live streams. Of course, you know, we don't see you quite as often, but it's still been a year or so coming up. Hey, Jamie. Jimmy says hi, Yogi. What's up, Jamie? So let me, Holger says, yeah, I've been busy, sorry. That's okay. Man, that's life, you know? Holger says, yeah, about a year. You know, I don't see Noble that often. I know he's been busy. I know he's got classes and his job. Let's see. Amanda says, what does Amanda say? I subbed out. You're a sexy live, you sexy man. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I am alive to see this handsome man. Surely you must be talking about Holgo. Give me 1 second. Amanda's laughing. Always good to share a laugh with you, my friend. Before I read Lesson 21, always feel free, as you always are, to substitute the word God for any expression or any term that resonates with you. Amanda says, thank you for coming to my live. Always. Whenever I see you live, I will make it. If you don't see me, it's either because I didn't see you live, I'm out walking, or I'm working out, or I'm meditating, or something along those lines. But if I see you live, I will make it. That goes to everyone. You know, Jamie, if I see you live, I'm going to be there. Even if I'm cooking and I'm in the background, or I'm writing or doing something. If I see you, I will do everything I can to be there to offer some support. Makes me think about what I wrote today, this morning. I will dive into lesson 200, but Amanda says, I will start after I'm done with you. Hint, hint. Funny. Funny, my friend. I wrote about being selfish this morning. Hey, Lucy. So let me read what I wrote, and then I'll relate it to whatever. Or you guys could ask me some questions. It is about being selfish. It could be said that I'm mostly selfish in how I live my life, concerned with feeling truly good and free of all grievances and resentments. I don't want to be caught up in the ancient wounds of a past life, to not carry over all of my previous complaints that weigh my present moment down. My main purpose is forgiveness, surrendering anything that's ever hurt me, and allowing love to guide me. Selfish in the intent to be free of all my former troubles, experiencing only love right now. And yet not really selfish. Established in love, there is little trace of self anymore. Not in a true sense, although it still certainly makes its presence known. What's different here is lightness. It's an identity shift away from the heaviness of an ego-dominated existence and more towards a joyful life that holds my previous themes more lightly. There's a happiness presence that's simply less concerned with the experience of ego. A more selfless life, free, unbound, and with an expanding sense of love. So we can reframe anything that happens in our life. Anything. Lucy says, selfish in a good way. Exactly. You know what truly makes you feel good? When you're of service to other people. When you are helping other people. When you show up in someone's live stream and you think, not what's in it for me, but how can I feel good? And if you truly, truly examine what's going to make you feel good, it's going to be helping that other person. It's going to be helping other people in the live stream. So we know that the ego is always going to be looking out for the ego. The ego is about self-preservation. And yet, when we give, and when we give selflessly, the ego's demands are diminished. So we're using the selfish, as Lucy says, in a good way. We're reducing the ego. This is why the ego never ever forgives. The ego bargains. The ego uses what it thinks of as forgiveness as a means of shoring up its identity. I will forgive you when you do this. I will forgive you when I feel better. I will forgive you when you feel worse. I will forgive you if you promise me something. And that's not forgiveness. That's bargaining. It's not even love. It is bargaining. Hey, Skits. Skits says, hi, Eric and chat. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Much love. Much love to you, my friend. So when we forgive, truly, truly forgive, we are diminishing the ego and we are coming more into God realization. God realization is selflessness. There is no self in love. There is the appearance of self. And we can love that little troubled self into annihilation, where only love is found. Let's see. Omegs. Wish I knew how to pronounce that. Farm says, hi all friends. I'm back. Welcome back. Nice to see you. Hey Praveen. Praveen says, hello everyone. Namaste. Namaste to you, my friend. Our friend from India. How are you? How's your day? Renna says, Skits, much love. So here is lesson 200. Here's what I fell in love, one of the reasons I fell in love with the Course in Miracles. because one lesson is contained in one sentence. The entirety of the message is contained within its message. Lesson 200 out of 365. Farm says, thank you. You're welcome, my friend. There is no peace except the peace of God. Again, if for whatever reason, upbringing, inclination, you don't like the term God, change it for the Tao. Change it for life. Change it for love. Exchange it for Krishna, the universe, Brahma. Doesn't matter. So there is no peace except the peace of Brahma. There is no peace except the peace of love. There is no peace except the peace of Krishna, Shiva, Allah, whatever expression works best for you. That sums up everything. Because here's the thing. If you're not experiencing peace right now, you can also, the word peace is synonymous with love. If you're not experiencing love right now, it's because you're not looking for it. It's because you are making the choice of something other than love, something other than God. Let's see. Praveen says, true, 100%. So I'm going to read through the lesson. I won't read the whole thing, but I'll read through it. Seek no further. You will not find peace except the peace of God. Accept this fact and save yourself the agony of yet more bitter disappointments, bleak despair, and a sense of icy hopelessness and doubt. If you are looking for love anywhere other than the present moment where God is found, that's what you're going to find. You will eventually be disappointed. You will eventually be left in bleak despair and a sense of icy hopelessness and doubt. It happens every single time. Every time. And it lets go of the burden of expecting others to fulfill you. No relationship other than the relationship with God is ever going to fulfill you, which frees everyone else in our life from having to fulfill us. And then we can appreciate everyone just as they are. We can love deeply every single person that comes into our life. And the relationships that we now have are elevated from what we call a special relationship, where we are always trying to have someone fulfill our sense of need, our sense of lack, to a holy relationship, in where we can learn from each other, where we can now truly, truly love each other. And let's go of all of our demands, all of our demands. So seek ye no further. There is nothing else for you to find except the peace of God, unless you seek for misery and pain. If you are not seeking the peace of God, which is already here, which is already present, then you are seeking misery and pain. Thank you for the like, my friend. So this is the final point to which each one must come at last. Sooner or later, we all come there. Why not save yourself trouble? To lay aside all hope of finding happiness where there is none. You're never going to find happiness in another person, ever. You're never going to find happiness in a job, ever. You're never going to find happiness in an expensive car or even a cheap car, ever. Because happiness doesn't belong there. That doesn't mean you can't have happiness in all of those things, because once you have the happiness of love, once you have the happiness of God, you find it everywhere and in everything and in every person. They no longer have to meet your demands. They can just be. They can relax. Man, what a gift you can give someone by allowing them to relax in your presence without any demands. No one has to be anything than what they are. When you can look in people on the eyes of forgiveness. Remember, forgiveness is simply allowing everyone to be in the present moment. My favorite description of forgiveness is giving up all hope of a better yesterday. Giving up all hope of a better past. You're never going to have a better past. It's impossible because it's past. When you let that go, you have the present moment, and it's as good as it gets. So, attempt no more to win through losing, nor to die to live. You cannot but be asking for defeat. Yet you can ask as easily for love, for happiness, and for eternal life in peace, and that has no ending. And for this, you can only win. To ask for what you have already must succeed. You already have peace. You already have God. You already have love. Ask for it. Seek it. Seek for what you already have. It's the easiest thing in the world to find. However, we first have to let go of all the things love isn't. Let me dive in again, guys. Dive in the conversation. Amanda says, I'm selfish at times. We all are. Selfish is just identifying with a self that isn't true. Selflessness is the truth of who we are. That's the message of Avita, the message of radical non-duality. There is no self that can be selfish. There is only selflessness, which can only be love. Skid says, hi Lucy and Amanda and Smile. Do we have Smile here? Did I miss Smile? Farm says, it's fine, thank you. You're welcome, my friend. Praveen says, 100% true. We got some unicorns from Lucy. Thank you for the unicorns. And we got a smile and some love from Farm. Skid says, I'm going to go get on with my day. Take care, y'all. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday to you, Skits. Amanda says, happiness is in you only? Absolutely. Lucy says, haven't slept. Need to rest my eyes a bit. Yeah, definitely. Lay down. Get some sleep. We're only going to be live for a few more minutes. Eat my oatmeal. I go live with Jace later today. Amanda says, we all love you, Yogi. Thank you. I love you too. Hey, Rosie. Rosie Ocean says, hey, Yogi and Amanda. Thank you for being here. Amanda says, happy Sunday. Rebecca be live today. Rebecca will be live. I'll be on the lookout for her. Thank you, Lucy. Hey, poor man. Man, you're up. Are you up early or are you up late? Man, it says, oh, is it short off live this time? It is not. It is not. I've come to the conclusion that no one needs to see a half-naked 60-year-old. Let's see. Rosie says, how are you, Yogi? Rosie, I'm doing pretty good. How are you? Christmas baby Big Nick says, hi there. Hey, Nick. Ravine says, nice live stream, sir. Thank you, my friend. I'm going to dive back into that lesson 200. Poor man says, probably going back to sleep. Yeah, I don't blame you. So, back into lesson 22. To ask for what is false, be true, can only fail. Forgive yourself for vain imaginings and seek no longer what you cannot find. For what can be more foolish than to seek and seek and seek again for hell when you have but to look with open eyes to find heaven that lies before you through a door that opens easily to welcome you. Come home. You have not found your happiness in foreign places and in alien forms that have no meaning to you, although you sought to make them meaningful. This world, the world that we see, the world that we truly imagine, is not where you belong. You are a stranger here, but it is given to you to find the means whereby the world no longer seems to be a prison house or jail for anyone. You can set yourself free right now. Freedom is given you where you beheld but chains and iron doors. Freedom is right now. But you must, this is important, but you must change your mind about the purpose of the world if you would escape it. And you truly can. This is not the world. If we go by Genesis, and God created the world and looked around and said, it's good. Everything is good. Every single thing is good. But look around right now. Does it feel good? Does it seem good? Does it seem that there's a lack of love? Is there a lot of warfare going on along? A lot of division? High crime? Is there violence against us? Is there warfare? Is there children starving? Are there homeless people? Would a just and loving God look around all of that and say it's good? Because it isn't. This is not the world of God's creation. It's the world of our creation. And God only waits for us to recognize that and to recognize that we are home and to change our mind about how we see the world. Change your thoughts and the world changes. The only reason there's any single starving child in the entire world is because we have collectively and individually said, that's okay. It's okay that one person can have $4 billion and one child can go to bed starving. Literally starving. Not hungry, starving. Poor man says, Kitty is up early. Kitty is always up when I'm up. That's the only reason. We go to bed at night thinking, or not thinking, that it's okay that there are homeless people. It's okay. Imagine this. Every war right now is a result of a leader of any country, one leader, saying it's okay that thousands of people die each day as long as I get what I want. As long as I get imaginary territory. There's no actual line drawn in territory. It's just land until you get the ocean, and then it's just water. It doesn't belong to anyone. We imagine that it does. We imagine all of this. We imagine that one person is more important because of the amount of money they have sitting in an account somewhere. None of that really truly exists. Money is paper. So you have to change your mind about the purpose of the world if you want to find escape. The purpose of the world isn't to accumulate, it's to give, it's to extend. The ego projects, and it projects imagination, it projects hurt, it projects suffering. Love, who we truly are, peace, extends and extends and extends. Do you want a different world? Don't go out in the world and try to change it. Turn within and change how you perceive the world, and the world you perceive will change. We dive back in, and then we'll wrap it up. Lucy says, I'm good. It's 5:21 here. I'm not missing no live stream. It's 5:21 here too. Actually, it's 5:25. Rosie says, why have I just met you, Yogi? I wish you found you sooner. I think we find each other exactly when we need to. I have 2 cats. I have 2 rescue cats I've had for coming on 3 years. Praveen says, it's 3:50 p.m. here. Did my lunch, and now I'm watching your live stream, sir. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. Rosie says, I agree. So let's wrap up this lesson. But you must change your mind about the purpose of the world if you would find escape. You will be bound till all the world is seen by you as blessed, and everyone made free by your mistake and honored as he is. That's the nature of forgiveness. You made him not, no more yourself. And as you free the one, the other is accepted as he is. That's why forgiveness means seeing everyone in their original innocence. Doesn't mean they didn't mess up. Doesn't mean they didn't make mistakes. It doesn't even mean that they didn't sin. Remember, sin means to miss the mark. The original translation of sin is to miss the mark. Hey, Miss Blipper. So we've all missed the mark. Do we want to see someone for missing the mark, all of their mistakes? Or do we want to see them in their original innocence? As we allow ourselves to see others is how we are going to see ourselves. If we see someone else as a sinner, it means we have to see ourselves as a sinner. But our truth, who we are, is innocent. So if we see ourselves as innocent, we have to extend that to others. If we are to see ourselves as innocent, we have to see others as innocent. What does forgiveness do? In truth, it has no function and does nothing, for it is unknown in heaven. It is only hell where is it needed, and where we are, because of our thoughts, we are in hell. Hey, Miss Flipper. It does not escape of God's beloved Son from evil dreams that he imagines, yet believes are true and worthy purpose. So, Miss Flipper, I was reading lesson 200. There is no peace except the peace of God, and I am glad and thankful that it is so, because it means in every moment I get to choose. Am I at peace right now? Nope. Then that means I am choosing that which is not peace. Do I want to be at peace right now? Who doesn't? Then I have to choose peace. Simple. How do you choose peace? Forgive. Rosie says, I agree. Miss Pepper says, good morning. Praveen says, awesome, sir. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much, my friend. Amanda says, you are amazing, Yogi. I am what we all are. We are all amazing. Amanda says, hello, Blippers. Rosie says, hello to Praveen. Miss Pepper says, sin equals lack of love, not possible in eternity. Beautifully said. Kick it into Mama. It says, good morning, Yogi. Good morning, my friend. It's nice to see you. Amanda says, Rosie, when Yogi and Chase, the two sexy men, go live together today, I'll post the link on my page so you can come see it. I don't know if we're going live on Jace's stream or in mine. I like doing it on Jace's better. He brings in a lot of people. I just bring in a couple. The more people that see Jace, the better. He's got an important message. Miss Pippa says, I like remembering the peace of God. Thank you. Me too. It certainly beats the alternative, doesn't it? Miss Pippa says, peace beyond understanding. Amen to that. It's not easy. Man, you look out into the world and you see a mess. I do not wish to see a mess. I'm tired of seeing a mess. Therefore, I choose the peace of God. If someone came in here yelling and screaming, shaking their finger at me, calling me all kinds of names, why would I want to see that? I can still see peace even as that is happening. Manna says it's because he takes off his shirt, Yogi. Is that why? Rosie says, how can you forgive someone that doesn't love you or show love to you? You can't. You can't. Meaning, the ego, who you think you are, can't forgive. It's not the function of the ego to forgive. The function of the ego is to divide, to see division so it can be distinct and true and strong within itself. But the ego doesn't truly exist. It's just a thought of who you are. It's not truly who you are. So forgiveness, again, my favorite description, forgiveness is giving up all hope of a happier past, of a better past. So we don't forgive someone. We just offer forgiveness as an extension of love. It's never about another. Does that make sense? We don't forgive another. We just simply recognize that everyone is where they are. If someone doesn't seem to love us or to show love to us, they are fighting their own battle. They are denying their own essence as love. They're lost in their own ego self, unable to experience love. It's not their fault. And it's not your fault. It is certainly not your fault. So if we were to say, I forgive you because of this, then we're saying that, um, again, that's like an ego's bargain. I will forgive you even though you're not showing me love. I will forgive you even though you can't express love. We want to take out that even though. And we want to look in that person and see how lost they are. How that innocent child that when they were born, when they came into this world, was full of hope, was full of nothing but love, that was innocent, tender, dependent upon others, and somehow lost that. And as we awaken, as we experience more and more and more our own sense of love, we can look upon those other people and our heart goes out to them. And we see that little child within them and we say, I'm so sorry that you were hurt so bad, that you got so lost that you can't be found. However, I found you. I see you. And I'm offering my hand, if only in my imagination, if only in my heart, I'm offering you my hand. I'm giving you light, and I hope that we can walk each other home. Rosie says, I like your advice, so that's why I have so many questions. Every question is good. I don't have any answer until we ask ourselves questions. But every answer that I seem to give is your answer. If it resonates, it's definitely your answer. It's not from me. Brenda says, I had to get Yogi to take it off now. I got 2 years of naked burpees. I've done my half naked time. It's time for a fully clothed naked. It's time for a fully clothed Yogi. Rosie says, hi, Kicking and Mama. Let's see. Miss Pippa says, forgiveness equals selective remembering of only the loving thought, not by our selection. Beautiful. Rosie says, thank you. Just so you know, there's a lot of questions that I might ask, so please don't mind me. I never mind you. Praveen says, I think I'm the youngest viewer here. How old are you, Praveen? Miss Blipper and I are just about the same age. 32. Rosie, how old are you? If you don't mind me asking. Miss Blipper says, I'm the oldest viewer here. 33. Rosie says, I'm the youngest. I'm 18. Rosie says, no, ask me anything. I don't care. So I love what Miss Blipper said. Selective remembering. Forgiveness is selective remembering. I choose to remember not the lack of love. I choose to not remember. Not the hurt, not the pain, not the suffering, not the sorrow. I choose to remember the lost innocence within you that I've now found and I wish to bring forth. I want to call it. I want to invoke. I am invoking your innocence that I know is there. The essence of the salutation Namaste, the divinity within me, the light within me, has found that light within you. And let's bring it out and let's live in it. And if you're unable to express it by yourself right now, then I will help you express it. I will express it for you. I have enough love for the both of us until you recognize your own love. That's forgiveness. I have enough love within me and who I truly am that I now see that I'll help you find yours. And I'll keep reminding you and keep reminding you and keep reminding you. The entire essence of my channel is I will remind you. And as I remind you, I'll remind myself because I certainly need to be reminded. I might use that as our coming up talk. Afternoon. I will remind you. As you can see, I'm writing that down so I can remind myself. What's the question, Praveen? Miss Blipper says, I choose to see no error. Yes. And as Miss Blipper said above, it's not our own choosing. The ego will never choose that. It's love, our real true identity. Nick says, hello, Selma. You will have to ask Selma. Brenda says, Rosie, tell me how you feel right now. How do we get rid of hurtful memories each time we look at someone who hurt us? We don't. We don't. We can't get rid of hurtful memories. Not us, not the ego. The ego will always hold on to hurtful memories. So don't identify with the ego. Recognize that the ego is appearing and is holding on to those hurtful memories. But the truth is, you are not the ego. And neither, if you are not the ego, neither is the other person. The other person is not those hurtful enemies. The other person is that innocent child that is holding the weight of all the hurt he has ever caused others and caused himself or herself. So as Miss Flipper says, selective remembering. So just because we're remembering one thing, just because we are seeing hurtful memories, we don't make them real. A person is not a memory. The hurtful memory that we have right now is a thought. In the absence of the thought of that memory, who would that person be right now? In the absence of that memory, who would that person be? So, thanks to Runner Boy, I had to break out my calculator. 138 times 2.2. 303 pounds. Awesome. Congratulations, Runner Boy. It's a huge squat. I don't even have to ask Runner Boy if it was a deep full squat, because that's how he squats. Congratulations. Rosie says, I have too many feelings now, Amanda. Is it normal? Tammy says, is it normal to wake up in the morning and think, oh crap, not this again? Yes. It's normal because that's what you're going through. However, it doesn't have to be normal. So what if you had that thought, oh crap, not this again? And in that moment, this is why we're reading lesson 200, Course in Miracles. There is no peace except the peace of God. So, oh crap, not this again, means that I am continuously choosing the ego. Oh crap, not the ego again. Oh crap, not my projections again. Oh crap, not the world that I've created again. Let me choose something better. Today I will make no decisions on my own. I surrender the day to God. I surrender the day to love. Use those as a reminder. Oh crap, not this day again. Let me give it away. I don't want it. I don't want this crap again. And then do your breath work. Say thank you and go about your day. Rosie says, I'm good today. I don't know how I'll be later. Well, we'll be here for you throughout the day. We start to suffer when we say, not when we say, oh crap, not this again. When we say afterwards, well, that was wrong. We suffer when we make ourselves wrong for what we're experiencing. Oh crap, not this again today. It's just a thought. Don't give it any more weight than it needs. We suffer when we say, oh crap, not this way, not this again. And then we say, why am I always like this? Why am I always so negative? Why am I always not grateful. Why am I always? Why am I always? Why am I always? You're never always anything. Not thought-wise. Your thoughts are always changing. So let it go. Oh crap, not this again. Because oh crap, not this again. Then let it go. And hey, see what this again actually is. Or ask yourself, is it true? Nick says, okay, okay, well, I just made a shout out video for her. I'm sure she will appreciate it. I hope she will. Man, it says, hey, sexy runner boy. Hey, Maddie. Maddie says, Miss Yogi, sir, nice to see you. Good morning. Rosie says, but if we were talking about my life is a mess, that's okay. I'm gonna make up a word here. Let's unmessify it. Unmessify. Let's unmessify it. Or hey, let's make it so messy that you eventually say, oh crap, not this again, and give it away. So if we say, oh crap, not this again, choose something else. I agree. Man, Sai, I agree 100%. Not this again. So ask for something else. Thank you, Odom. Odom, you're up early, my friend. Of course, Odom is a homesteader, hardest working man on YouTube, and a good friend, and a heart full of love, as well as a talented musician, guys. So, Simon, I'm going to completely agree with you. You actually have given me an important thing to consider. I agree 100%. If we're not experiencing peace, wake up and say, oh crap, not this again. Now choose something else. I failed 137K last weekend. I got 138 this week. Simon says, Simon, hi, mate. And Ice Maiden, hi. Runner Boy says, restraining order against Mana. that was funny. Mana says, love you too, Runner Boy. Hey, Vern. Miss Ripper says, normal to the ego, but again, we are not our egos, so we choose otherwise. So basically, I just gave a 15-minute long-winded explanation, and our friend Miss Flipper summed it up perfectly, as she always does. It's normal to the ego, but we're not the ego. Choose something else. Perfect. Let's see. Jamie says, Runner Boy, keep it up. Hey, Chloe. We got some morning celebration from Chloe. Thank you so much, my friend. Let's see. Amanda says, Yogi, Vern is from my channel. He's an awesome dude. Welcome, Vern. I'm going to sit back now and listen. We're actually going to call it a day in just a minute. I got to get in my walk, get some breakfast, get ready to train with Jace. Thank you for the jewels. It's an awesome way to start my morning. Nice to meet you too, Vern. Rosie says, so if I tell myself I hate myself, is it a thought or is it true? Well, here's the thing. Find out. Who would you be if you didn't have the thought, I hate myself? If that thought simply didn't exist, who would you be? And what self are you talking about? Are you talking about the self who you were when you were 6 years old? When you were 3? When you were 3 years old and you were completely innocent, existing in a world of love, of absolute love. Did you hate that self? When you look back on that little child that you were, do you hate that self? When you look back on yourself at 13, just starting to come alive, just starting to be so young, so hopeful, life was opening up, and you look at that self from the perspective where you are now, do you hate that self? What self truly exists that can be hated? Is there a self that you can hate? What is a self? Does it have texture? Does it have taste? Does it have, can you yank a self out of your body? Can you dissect a self? If there was a neuroscientist right now, a neurosurgeon, could they open up our brains and find an actual self? Could they pull out a Rosie and say, ah, there's a Rosie. She's this big, she's that wide, she's whatever. The self that you think you hate doesn't exist. But self of who you truly are can only witness and only love and only be. Thank you for the jewels, Odom. Reddit says, love you, handsome Yogi. I will be at your next live later, or with you and Jace. Awesome. Awesome live. Thank you so much. Vern says, great content. Thank you, Vern. Jimmy says, hi to Christmas baby Big Nick. Rosie says, yes, I hate myself a lot. To be honest, from when I was little until now. So keep dissecting that self. Who is it that hates? Who is it that hates? Is it the self hating the self? That would mean there's two selves. Are there two selves? And if there's two selves, which one is real? And if neither of them are real, then who are you? Keep asking yourself, who am I? I can't be the self that is hating. I can't be the self that is hated. There's not two selves. So who am I? And as we keep looking at who I am, we can only dismiss that which we are not. I am not the self that is hated. I am not the self that is hating. So that must mean that I am something other than a self. And if I am aware of all these selves that seem to be appearing, if I am aware of the self that is hating, if I am aware of the self that is hated, I must be something other than hate. What is something other than hate? It can only be love. Rosie says, I think my dad is a huge part of hating myself. I always myself, who am I? But I don't find an answer. Perfect. Because any answer that you found wouldn't be who you truly are. It would just be a description of who you think you are. It would just be a thought. You're not a thought. You're not the thought of who you are. You are the absence of all thought. You are the thoughtlessness itself, the witness to the thoughts. This is why the beginning of the Tao Te Ching says the Tao that can be told is not the true Tao. The Rosie that can be described, the Rosie that can hate, the Rosie that can be hated or feel hatred is not the true Rosie. So any description is just a description. Remember what they say in neuro-linguistic programming? The map is not the territory. The menu is not the meal. Tyler says, good morning from London. Good morning, London. How are you, my friend? Amanda says, Yogi, make Jace do the live with you because I want to get crazy. I can't do it here. So, all right, it'll be on his. Fair enough. We can do that. Chloe says, Yogi the Philosopher, you're the YouTube God for people. Just the Yogi. That's why I purposely chose that channel name, Just the Yogi. When Mocha said, so what are you going to call your channel? And I was, I don't know. I'm just a guy that does yoga. I'm just a yogi, practicing, making mistakes. And she said, well, there you go. Just a yogi. I think my exact words were, I'm just an old guy doing burpees in his basement. But that doesn't, that is less appealing. Just an old guy. Just an old guy, just a half-naked old guy, just a bald guy doing burpees in his basement. Doesn't sound as appealing as just a yogi. Breathing and silence are your friends. Yes. Nick says, this is a video I made for Selma. Thank you, Nick. We'll check it out. Brizzy says, thank you. I'm glad I can talk to you all the time and find an answer, because I always try to find an answer and I don't. So thank you. Miss Pippa says, God is love. Yes. Most yogis are just old guys. This is true. This is true. Once I was a young yogi. They may be sexy half-naked men with muscles. Chloe says you missed my comment further up. Let's see. Hey, False North, I didn't see you come in. Odom's always up at 3. Oh, I was looking at Costco website the other night and see a huge drop of olives, nearly 2K. That's a lot of olives. And then they thought of you and laughed. Then the work of the olive is done. The olive's work is done. That's a big jar of olives, man. That's a lot of sickness. Thank you, Chloe. My birthday is in December 25th, 1998. I guessed that. Praveen says, nice, sir. Everyone you say hi is awesome. They are awesome. All right, so it is oatmeal time, as Amanda reminded me. Thank you, Amanda. Chloe says, right enough to make a lot of people real sick. It will. Jamie says, morning, Tyler. But you know what? As you and I talked about, Chloe, it only takes one olive to do the trick. It only takes one olive. All right, guys, so I will see you. Doing burpees with Jace. I think around 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. Come on by and hang out if you want. Jace will be half naked. I will be semi-half naked. I don't actually know what semi-half naked is. Small face says, big old oatmeal. Yep. I prefer to think of it as a big ass bowl of oatmeal. Small face says, Jamie with the thumbs up. Miss Pepper says, happy oatmeal, Eric. Thank you, my friend. Maddie says, no F's, no frills, no mercy. Says, later, Miss Yogi. Respect, my friend. Respect to you. Thank you. Rosie says, thank you again. Keep up the good work. You too. You're asking yourself important questions, Rosie. Remember, not finding an answer doesn't mean there's not an answer. Not finding an answer is the answer. If you can't find out who Rosie is, what's that tell you? Anything that you think will never be who Rosie is, because Rosie is not a thought. Rosie is the witness to the thoughts. That's pretty cool, because that means who you truly are can only imagine that they are harmed by thoughts. Let that stuff go. That's the PG version. The non-PG version is let that shit go. Anything that occurs to you, anything that you're suffering from, anything you're holding on to, let that shit go. Sorry, guys. All right, oatmeal time. I'll see y'all later. Take care.